Welcome to yet another edition of the Eagles Nest. I'm your host, Brett Jendra. Tonight on the program, we will go through Brockport sports and discuss a little bit of everything with Excuse Me, I'm Talking. RJ Santillo will sit down with Andy Hilton right here in studio, and Ryan Gates and I will go through some of the numbers of Brockport sports and a little bit of stats attack. All this and more coming up on the Eagles Nest. Welcome into the Eagles Nest. Tonight we got our first segment. It's Excuse Me, I'm Talking, where we're going to go through some of the hot topics in Brockport campus sports. Right now, the gymnastics team hosting the national championships this year. They finished fourth this year, and they've had consecutive second-place finishes since I've been here. But do they have enough to win the national championship? I don't know, Ryan. I mean, they lost some solid players. Dewey's gone, Gildemeyer's gone, Rock's gone. That's just in the last few years. But they had 4 All-Americans. Morris is a very strong one. She was injured for a lot of the year. Cateridge is really coming together. Levy's been taking control of this team. I think they need the younger girls to step up. And when you're hosting a national championship, you are really able to attract a lot of recruits, and I think that's going to help.
Switching over to baseball now, they're looking to repeat as SUNYAC champions this year, and as of late, it's not looking too good. Opening up their SUNYAC schedule, 0-3 so far, with 3 losses against Cortland, and Cortland's not a team you want to be falling behind against, especially in SUNYAC standings, because they're a team, they're going to be good every single year, and Brockport, yeah, they won the SUNYAC title last year, but right now it doesn't look like they have what it takes to repeat as SUNYAC champions.
I think they got to learn to hold a lead, Ryan. They lost leads in all 3 of the Cortland games. Now they're 0-3 in SUNYACs. Now on to men's lacrosse. The men's lacrosse team just missed playoffs last year by 1 game. They have Potsdam coming up to start their SUNYAC schedule, and that's who knocked them out of contention for their playoff spot. So they're really looking to get on them. They went 0-4 at the beginning of the season, won their next 2 against Kane and Medaille. But Medaille, a little bit of a weaker program. They've always crushed Medaille. You know, you've got some great offensive guys. Andon McLean's in his senior year. You got Hilton, and you got this guy Rothfuss. He scores on and off the ice, so the offense is clicking. Can it click when they play some more quality opponents?
We'll switch over to the women's side of lacrosse now, and they are 2-2 heading into their SUNYAC schedule. They face off against Potsdam this weekend, and Sarah Brown, she is going to be the key for this team. 11 goals so far on the season, and it's not only the goal factor that she brings to this team, it's going to be the upperclassmen leadership, and she's going to have to bring that out night in and night out for this team to be successful. Last year, they had a great run, and this year they're trying to recreate it, and we're going to see in the SUNYAC opener if they're going to have the same success as they did last year.
I think they've also got, you know, Kaminsky and net and a couple of the other girls like Piriano. She's been a top scorer the top few years. She's really going to have to step up her game as well. Now on to softball. Softball really looking strong this year, 10-2. Their offense is absolutely on fire. They're crushing teams. I think Rosenbarker is hitting. She's hitting like Barry Bonds, I guess. You know, she's having a pretty good year. And you know what? Stephanie Gear is just scary good. She's absolutely. It would be a scary thing to see her on the mound. I don't even know what other way to describe it. She can really throw a ball. You know, but their quality of the opponents, again, I don't really know. Those are some Eastern teams. There's some teams they won't see a lot. They see them in Florida. So compared to some SUNYAC teams, they're going to start to see some real competition now.
And talking about Stephanie Gear, she was named SUNYAC Pitcher of the Week. Right now, she is 4-0 through spring training, a .24 ERA, and along with her, Josh Barnett. He is named to the SUNYAC All-Team as well. He had an 11-0 victory through a 3-hitter. And, you know, with pitching like that, both these teams are going to be looking for that type of pitching through their SUNYAC schedules. You know, the guys, they haven't seen it yet so far, and the girls, they're going to really need Gear to be thrown like that all year long for their SUNYAC championship hopes.
And now lastly, we'll head to swimming and diving, where Maria Quagliana competed in the national championship. She finished, she finished what, top 10 in the
She finished 8th in the 1 meter, 15th in the 3 meter.
All right, you got me on that one. I got a little confused there. But, you know, she did a great job, finished All-American. That was her 3rd experience in that national tournament. She's had a great career here at Brockport. But don't forget, Dan Bragano, the senior, I think the story is here, is he got snubbed. The NCAA pulled little selection shenanigans on him because he was top 22 all year and didn't make it to the tournament.
And don't forget, Quagliana got 1 All-American honor for her efforts at the national championship game. And we'll take one last crack at one thing. WrestleMania coming up, big matchup. Triple H versus The Undertaker. Who do you got?
I got The Undertaker. He's not going to lose his streak. He's 18-0. He's going to be 19-0 come Sunday.
Triple H, the game, he's going to break the streak. Every streak has to stop somewhere. This year, the game, taking down the dead man, one-on-one. Done.
Not going to happen, Ryan. All right, that'll do it here for this segment. We'll be back in a moment on the Eagles Nest. All this and more.
All this and more. All this and more coming up.
Coming up
On the Eagles Nest.
Hello, I'm Ryan Gates with your Golden Eagles Sports Update. We will start off with our championship performances over the weekend. The women's gymnastics team finished tied for 4th with the Cortland Red Dragons for the national championship. The Golden Eagles had an overall score of 185.25, 6 points behind the University of Washington lacrosse, who took home the national crown. Elizabeth Levy set a new Brockport record on the balance beam with a score of 9.8. 4 individuals were also selected for All-American honors. Kelsey Morris and Taylor Wurzba earned first-team All-American, while Elizabeth Levy and Taryn Cateridge earned second-team. Maria Quagliana also had a nice showing for the Golden Eagles in the diving national championships. In the first day, she earned 15th overall and an honorable mention All-American award on the 3-meter dive. On the second day, however, she would have an even better showing. She finished 8th overall on the 1-meter dive, earning All-American honors. The baseball team had a busy Monday and Tuesday with 3 games against perennial SUNYAC powerhouse, the Cortland Red Dragons. On Monday, the Golden Eagles would fall to the Red Dragons 7-1. Tom McCormick collected 2 of the 3 Golden Eagle hits. On Tuesday, the team would fare better but would still not be able to get any W's. In the first game, Brockport fell 5-4. Max Zimmerman and Mike Goldstein each had 2 hits for the Golden Eagles. In the later game, the Golden Eagles would fall this time 4-3. Brockport held a 3-2 lead in the bottom of the 9th, but could not hold on for their first SUNYAC victory. The baseball team is now 11-6 on the season and 0-3 in SUNYAC play. Finally, the women's lacrosse team had 1 game over the week with an 8-7 win over the St. Louis University. The Golden Eagles trailed 5-3 going into halftime, but rallied thanks to 2 second-half goals from both Sarah Brown and Karen Bianchi. The team will return to action April 2nd against Potsdam in the opening of their SUNYAC schedule. They are currently 2-2 overall. That was your Golden Eagles Sports Update. Right after the break, we'll have more of the Eagles Nest.
Hey folks, I got a surprise for you. ATV towels.
For when your college TV diet spills into boredom, the plain program won't soak up your laughs like the fun-driven program of ATV. Watch this side-by-side comparison.
ATV, the laughter picker-upper.
Welcome back to the Eagles Nest. At this point, we welcome in our guest for the evening. That's senior attackman on the Brockport men's lacrosse team, Andy Hilton. And Andy, last year you transferred into Brockport from Oneonta after 2 years. And we hear about the athletic side of things that changes, obviously, when you transfer. And that's the reason for a lot of people transferring. But you talk about the entire package, athletics, academics, what it's like to transfer.
Well, it was a really smooth transition coming to Brockport. You know, I made a lot of good friends here. Obviously, the academic aspect, I transferred because I wanted to pursue a phys ed major and obviously Brockport is the place to be if you want to do phys ed. So it's been a really good transition.
And now we'll get to the on-the-field stuff. And in Oneonta, your sophomore year, you scored 15 goals. And then junior year, last year for you, you burst onto the scene, 27 goals to lead the Golden Eagles. What was different about the way on the field, the X's and O's, the schematics of the way the Golden Eagles do things as compared to the Red Dragons?
Well, we run a little different offense here than I did at Oneonta, but plus the fact that we had a really good coaching staff last year, and I walked into a really experienced offense with the guys I'm playing with then and even now.
Talking with Andy Hilton, senior attackman on the Brockport men's lacrosse team, and you know, the season didn't start off on necessarily the right foot for you guys. You dropped your first 4 games, but you've won 2 in a row, and you're starting to get into the conference schedule here right around the corner. Are you guys where you need to be, you think, with the conference schedule beginning?
I definitely think so. You know, yeah, we lost a couple of close ones there, and we were 0-4, but we won the last 2 games, and I think we're definitely where we need to be going into SUNYX that start this Saturday at Potsdam.
And now finally, we'll get you out of here on this one. April 23rd, Oneonta comes to Brockport, and you get to play your old team. I'm sure you keep in touch with a lot of those guys. Any bad blood, or will it be good to see some of your old teammates?
No really bad blood. Definitely be some trash talk on the field, always is, but I still love those guys, and I hope the same for them. So.
Senior attackman on the Brockport Golden Eagle men's lacrosse team, Andy Hilton, we appreciate the time.
Thank you.
We'll be back here on the Eagles Nest.
And welcome into the final segment here on the Eagles Nest tonight. It's the Stats Attack. In 35 plate appearances for the baseball team, sophomore infielder Jake Coleman has posted a batting average of .343, and he's walked 14 times this year. Is Coleman's on-base percentage above or below .600? Well, is he on base 60% of the time, Ryan?
What do you think?
I mean, he's been walked 14 times. He's obviously getting on base a lot, but the way the team's been playing, 0-3 in SUNY right now, I don't think it's above 60%. I'm going below.
Well, you're correct. It is .558. But another thing about Coleman, not only is he shortstop, but he's also a pitcher 1-2 on the season so far. Both those losses coming against Cortland, however. Senior pitcher Stephanie Gear of the softball team is 6-0 to start the season with a sparkling .52 ERA. When you combine the number of base runners that Gear has allowed this season due to hits and walks and multiply that number by 2, is it greater or less than the number of strikeouts Gear has this season? Well, if you ask me, Gear, she's on fire, 4-0 right now, a great ERA. She's got to be striking out more people, even more than double the number of base runners she's allowed. So I'm going to say that that base runners number multiplied by 2 is less than the amount of strikeouts that she has on the season.
Well, you're absolutely correct. She's got 52 strikeouts on the season and has only allowed 22 base runners. And double 22 is 44, and that's still less than the number of strikeouts she's got on the year. So she's on fire, and let's hope it continues that way. Matt Andon McLean, Andy Hilton, and Nate Thomas are leading the men's lacrosse team in terms of goals scored this season. McLean 12, Hilton 10, and Thomas with 7. Their total combined goal total is 29. Now, do the 3 of them have more goals than the rest of the team combined? I want to say no. You want to hope that your team has some more offensive prowess than just those 3 guys, but I feel that those are their 3 go-to guys, and they've scored more than the rest of the team. You know, that's what I think.
Yeah, you're absolutely correct. The rest of the team has only scored 24 compared to their 29, so it looks like they're going to need a little more of that assisting scoring to win some of those SUNYAC matchups. Finally, onto the women's lacrosse team. They scored a total of 40 goals this season so far. How many goal scorers for the Golden Eagles have 5 or more goals? You know, I'm going to guess 3. I know Sarah Brown, she is a big player for this team. Stephanie Toomey as well. And Karen Bianchi, I think she's up around that 5 number. But I don't think there's anyone else on this team who is really running that 5 number.
Well, Ryan, I think you got the first wrong answer of the night because it's actually, you missed one of them. Alyssa Scordo, she's got 5 goals on the season. And I think another strong girl that I mentioned earlier, Dana Piriano, she's been a top scorer, you know, the last 2 years. And I think we might even see Carly Matondo get into that top scoring list as well. So that women's lacrosse team has a lot of potential this year. So hopefully they continue to win. So for Eagles Nest fans, that's going to do it for tonight. I'm Brett Jendra. Ryan Gates. I'd like to thank our crew. I would also like to thank 89.1 The Point, thepointafter.org, and Brockport Sports Information. That'll do it for tonight. Thanks for watching.